food supper.
Junk 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 food
Junk
supper.
food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food.
Welcome to Junk Food Supper. This is the podcast where every week we get together, we talk about movies, we talk about things, we talk about Cobra people, we talk about Shelby Cobras. I am Parker, and I am joined by Sean Byron in LA. How are you, Sean Byron?
Shelby loves it.
I'm doing good. Now that we're talking Cobras.
The whole time, tonight we're talking about this movie Cobra Woman from 1944. The whole time, I was just like, man, what if Shelby lived on this island? What if Shelby was in this cult? I feel like Cobras and our friend Shelby are synonymous now.
He was sorely missed during the entire runtime. I kept checking Letterboxd to see, like, are we sure that he's not in this? He's not going to turn up at some point? But no, he never did.
Yeah. It was only, I was like 110 minutes into this movie before I realized that this movie was made, 70 years before he was born. And I was like, oh, that's why. That's why.
Okay. Well, that would make sense. It looked so modern. The language used was so current, Yeah.
I expected him to show up at any point, but
no.
Turns out there were Cobras before he was born. So
the term doesn't originate with him. No, he's not the inventor of the Cobra, unfortunately.
See,
that was Sylvester Stallone, actually.
Oh, okay. See, that's the part I didn't realize. I thought Shelby came out first, and then everybody kind of like copied him, like Stallone, the car people, the snake people. I thought they all kind of copied him.
No, but we don't need to really insinuate here that Shelby was the one doing the copying. It could, it's all just groupthink, just kind of parallel thought. These things happen.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
There's no definitive evidence that Shelby is a name thief. So I don't want to make that claim here on a podcast where it could be legally actionable.
Yeah, allegedly he might have done something, but we don't know. We're just asking questions here.
No. Well, and speaking of exploring other options, I alluded to this off air before we started the show, before we hit that record button. Did you hear about this case where Marvel is being sued by the city of San Diego?
No, I didn't know. I don't know anything about this. What did they do?
Now, the way that I said that, it sounds like the setup for like a punchline, but it is an actual true story. It happened today, or at least the news story came out today. I guess during Comic-Con a week or two ago, Marvel installed, against the city's wishes, some very large advertising for, I think, the new Avengers movie on the iconic gas lamp district sign in downtown San Diego. It's one of those kind of classic gateway type signs that kind of goes over the roadway. You see them a lot in California. You've seen these things.
I think I've seen these things, yeah.
Well, they got one of those in downtown San Diego that I guess is historic, or it's at least expensive. And Marvel asked, like, hey, can we just like cover this whole thing up with our dumb advertising for the Avengers? City said no. Marvel did it anyways. The city showed up in the middle of the installation and said, hey, stop that. Like, can you please stop immediately and remove what you've already installed? Marvel says, no, we're just going to keep installing it anyways. And so I think it's like $100,000 fine or something that they've levied at Marvel.
Okay, well, pretty sure Disney can afford that. So I don't think they're going to be too stressed out about it.
No, I think they'll be fine. But maybe they've damaged their reputation amongst the local denizens of the gas lamp district.
That very well could be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Horton Plaza AMC is going to see very low returns for this on opening weekend, I believe.
I might take Marvel's side on this, I might play devil's advocate. It's like you're at Comic-Con, you're drawing, 2 or 3 million people from outside of San Diego to come spend money in your city. Let them put up their little fucking poster,
Okay. Even if it's covering up a historic and beautiful sign with all sorts of period details and the most fancy looking fonts you could imagine on a sign, Bowman.
I bet that sign is probably. I bet the fonts and the fancy details are probably pro Spanish colonization. I would imagine, right?
There might be some sort of allusion to the Catholic missions on the sign that is probably disrespectful to indigenous people, I would guess. So maybe it's better that we covered it up.
I think Marvel was doing the right thing here, covering that stuff up and defending the indigenous people.
Well, once again, Marvel promoting that woke agenda. So I guess vote with your dollars then. If that's the kind of entity you want to see succeed, go out there and support them cinematically.
Mm-hmm. Which everybody is doing. The Spider-Man movie is the biggest movie of all time, apparently.
Oh, it's still making money?
They're still making money out there.
It hasn't turned the corner into losing money?
That would be wild.
It would be weird if it was like, man, we're on track for a huge box office success, and then the next week, I don't know how this happened, but suddenly we're in the red.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's actually DC's business model at this point.
Yeah, probably. Did you see it a second time or anything?
No, I have not. I might. It's like kind of a fun movie. Like we talked about, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's like a fun enough movie that I might, if I'm bored one day, go check it out a second time. But
all right.
But
the likelihood of you being bored now is pretty low, given that we've got these cool polls on our Discord that you've been participating in. That's
true. This is the greatest thing to happen to the Discord since Music League, and possibly ever. Because I mentioned this today, like a little bit ago in the Discord, but like, I always wonder, like, I think we might have even talked about this, like in the early days, like putting up some sort of a poll or doing something where like people decide what the best movie was of the week of the three back when we did three, like, because like I'm always curious what people think is like the best one or like the most junk foody one or which one like made the best conversation or like whatever it is that people like about the show, like, you know, like which one out of the three, like, was the best, whatever it is people are looking for. And so you have taken it upon yourself to create polls going back to the very first episode, asking people what their favorite of the movies are. And it is quenching the curiosity I've had since like day one. Like, and I just love it. I think it's wonderful.
The reason I like it is it kind of scratches that itch that the that Music League, scratched, in terms of you got something you can check on a daily basis, something to go back to and see what the results are. But at the same time, it doesn't take any sort of mental effort. I don't have to think about what song I want to submit. It's no thought. Even when I'm voting, it's pretty easy to vote. Versus Music League, man, that's a lot of mental effort for me.
That is true. Got to listen to all those songs. Got to come up with funny comments.
Yeah, I gotta come up with some cute pick that is kind of like technically part of the rules of the round, but is somehow a funny take, on what the rules suggest. Yeah, don't have to do any of that with these polls. Strictly factual.
I agree. So yeah, if you guys listening have been on the fence about coming into the Discord, maybe it's not your thing, maybe you don't like Discord, try it out. Or if you're one of those folks that like to lurk, get in there, start voting on these, because I think it's fascinating to see. And also, I'm trying to beat Kevin right now. I think Kevin's up 3-2 in terms of he's picked the most movies that people have liked the most. I'm trying to catch up. Mark trailing badly with 0 votes so far. I imagine that once we get into like episode 30, 40, 50, I will have forgotten who picked which movie. Things will this will stop being as fun for me, maybe, but like it's fun.
Well, there's a way to solve that. We can go back to the old episodes. They still do exist, and we can listen to figure that out.
Oh, I'm not listening to those.
Fair point, yeah.
That was 800 years ago. That is embarrassing. I cannot fathom going back to listen to any old junk food dinners or pool parties. I would just die of embarrassment immediately.
Because you
I guess
sound
we
like
could-
this.
What kind of dog you got, bro?
Yeah. I guess we could get AI to do it. I guess that would work. But
Or not. Or just leave it undone.
no, I think that's the only acceptable use of AI is like chronicling junk food dinner stuff.
I think that's got to be the new policy for humanity. Like when it comes to the point where the suggestion is made, oh, maybe we could use AI for this. I think the only sane answer has to be, or maybe we could just not do it ever, or maybe that's a dumb idea,
Well, yeah.
If it wasn't good enough to invest human effort into, don't bother,
Yeah. I think I've discovered the best reason to avoid AI this
Okay.
week. So I was watching a movie. You know how I do. Sometimes I watch movies.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how sometimes I am like a horrible masochist and I'll watch these Dustin Ferguson movies?
I just like to relax during entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I like to relax and sometimes I like to just be angry that somebody's out there just totally bastardizing a cinematic art form that I love. But
Let's not pretend like the Dustin Ferguson movies aren't your comfort food of cinema. Come on.
no. Well, I mean, a little bit, but I mean, at this point, because I've seen like 70 of them, maybe. But I was watching the new one because he comes out with like 8 a year and I'm a little behind. I swore them off for a while, so I haven't watched one, like a new one, in like 2 years or something. But I watched one, it's called Sharks in the Hood. I think
Okay.
that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. It might be called like Storm Sharks or something like that. But because it happens during a storm. It's basically like fucking a Dustin Ferguson level version of Sharknado, which is just embarrassing. But
And I would imagine that Dustin Ferguson is, a member of the community, and he's probably from the streets. And I would imagine that it's a very nuanced representation of inner city life, that is respectful but still reflects the harsh realities, right?
well, Dustin Ferguson does rap in this movie
Oh, good.
from a jail cell.
Now I'm assuming that this is a very white man, just based on his name. Am I wrong?
You are correct.
Okay,
And,
good.
yeah, he's from Nebraska as well.
Not that white people can't rap. I don't want to be racist, but I would imagine that Dustin Ferguson can't rap.
No. Dustin Ferguson does not have any talent, creative talent whatsoever, as evidenced by all the movies of his that I've watched. But so I'm watching this movie, Sharks in the Hood, and the sharks are AI generated sharks,
Yeah.
and so
I would
like
imagine so, because you can't really. I would imagine Dustin Ferguson can't afford sharks on his budget, and these
Yeah.
days with all the animal labor laws and all this, probably you'd get in trouble trying to do whatever he wanted to do with these sharks.
Yeah, but I mean, up till this point, like he would use like little flash clip arts and stuff, that you do like when you're like a cheap filmmaker, making a movie.
I guess that's an option. Or, I mean, this is maybe a wild idea, but I guess you could make like a prosthetic or like a puppet or something like that, right?
I mean, you could. That's not what Dustin Ferguson does. He just
Okay.
uses his little Adobe clip arts, the kind that you see on like very bad YouTube videos, or like Tim and Eric stuff, but he's like using them for real,
Okay.
But like that's how lazy AI is. Where like instead of using like little like plugins, like even Dustin Ferguson to make things easier is using AI. Like that, like a guy who has put absolutely no effort into any movie he's ever made. Like his movies are usually just like people quietly walking around the woods, and then like a little clip art of like a dinosaur will pop out, and get them, he has found this person who has put no effort into any of his art whatsoever, no time, no money, no production value. he finds it easier to use AI than to do what he was doing. And I think that is very telling.
And I think it's sort of a great loss. I mean, not even joking. And obviously, I'm not a fan of Dustin Ferguson because I don't have brain damage or anything. But what I like about Z-grade filmmakers or super low-budget filmmakers' backyard movie making is that there is kind of a problem-solving aspect where you kind of like root for these filmmakers battling against the odds of like, can they even make a movie when you know that they have no resources? We've completely nerfed that now, and everybody's OP now with access to AI, and it's going to remove all of the uniqueness of these micro-budget backyard guys if they all use AI. Like, Bill Zabub had his own approach to solving, these filmmaking challenges, which mostly was just, throw a naked stripper in there. But that was his way. And if it's in the future, everybody just takes the same approach of like, just let AI do it, then every movie's just going to look the same. And why even bother,
Yeah. I definitely agree. I mean, even watching this one, like, I mean, I hate every Dustin Ferguson movie I've seen, but like watching this one was like, it's like not even fun. Like, it's fun to, like you said, like, how does Dustin Ferguson, like, that's kind of the fun of why I've watched so many of his movies, is like, how does this guy with no talent, no money, no creativity, no cast, like, no anything, how does he make a movie? And like, that's kind of that's why I put myself through such tortures, like, just like out of curiosity, like, how do you do that? Like, and it's like, yeah, if the answer is just, well, you spend $20 on fucking mid-journey credits, then that's not, like, that's like so much less interesting. Like, even then, like, like going from like, like you said, like practical effects or making a puppet, like some of these like very low budget guys do, to like what he does, where it's just like stock footage and stock like clip arts of, tigers chasing people around a park. Like, AI is so much lower like interest than even that shit, which is like not interesting or like visually or creatively. Like,
yeah,
AI is so much
inherently
lower than that.
Not distinct because it's an aggregate of all of the available artworks in the world, just jumbled together. So there's nothing in there that is inherently Dustin Ferguson, other than whatever tiny proportion he represents in the overall tapestry of art that this AI engine has consumed.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like,
it's not like Dustin Ferguson has a custom AI agent that is like, oh, he does things the Dustin Ferguson way. No, it's going to look just like everything else.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, granted, it was just like the sharks. Like, I mean, most of it is still just his calling card of people quietly walking around, free places in the world, parks and downtown areas and stuff, and like just stealing shots without permits. Like, most of it's still just that. But like the fact that there's like AI sharks is like makes me care so much less. Like, it's like not even fun to watch and goof on because it's like it's just nothingness.
Yeah, well, we live in a hellscape. AI is ruining everything.
It's true.
Even the things that were bad before are now much worse somehow.
I know.
Like podcast advertisements, famously JFD is a show that is, supported by listeners like you, and we're proud of that. Some of these, jokers out there are running 1 million ads on their shows, and it was never good. It's always been annoying. Obviously, the best possible version of that is like a host read where like just the host is seamlessly talking about Dr. Pepper or whatever, like during the show. But then, you would get, they transitioned into just like, all right, we're going to throw you random ad roll from some, affiliated marketing company or whatever. But now, like the more insidious twist that podcast advertising has seemingly taken in the past couple of years is I feel like a good 50% of the podcast ads I hear are like these fake like ad reads by the host where it's like a sound-alike AI voice of like Scott Ackerman or whatever. And they do it like pretty like seamlessly, where it'll be like right into the transition into the break. You don't even really notice. Suddenly you're in an ad read. It sounds like Scott Aukerman for a second. And you're like, no, that's just AI. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, that is the most infuriating thing I've ever experienced, I think, and is maybe enough to keep me away from podcasts for good.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. That has not happened. I'm really bad at listening to podcasts nowadays. I listen to like 4 of them, and I think none of them have ads in general. Maybe like the Ringer ones do. I listen to them every once in a while if I've run out of like good podcasts to listen to, but I don't think they have those that I've noticed anyway. But
you're listening to the good podcast then. It's, these junk mainstream podcasts on HeadGum or Earwolf or whatever, like they're just jammed full of ads.
Yeah, I'm just listening to randos, basically.
The real shit.
Yeah, that real stuff. I'm listening to Kill Streak. What's up, Kill Streak? Go check them out.
What's that?
Do you remember that movie we did, Another Yeti Love Story, Life on the Streets, that you and Kevin did not like, but I love, about a guy who marries a Yeti and then like they go to a strip club and other things happen? Do you remember that?
I remember, what was the other one that was about like an orangutan that worked in an office? It just had like a one-word title. Like, was it like?
Oh, I kind of vaguely remember that, but
Silvio.
Yeah.
Remember Silvio? I don't remember the Yeti love story. I'm sure that I watched it though.
Yeah, there's like a lot of penises in it and stuff. I mean, yeah, you and Kevin did not like it, so I imagine you probably blocked it from your memory. But long story short, it's one of the stars and one of the directors of that movie have a podcast where they talk about horror movies and stuff.
Okay, I like that.
That's good. Yeah, it's one of the only like 3 podcasts I still listen to. I need to get back on my listening. Now that I don't play World of Warcraft for 23 hours a day, it's hard to listen to all the podcasts I want to listen to.
Oh, did you finally beat it? You reached the end boss of World of Warcraft?
I got the high score.
Nice.
Yeah. So I did beat it.
What was the ending? The princess was in another castle?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. It just said like, congratulations, you are a winner.
You are a winner.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's better than being error, I guess.
Yeah.
We all remember the I am error guy from Zelda 2.
Of course.
Maybe the best moment in pop culture history, I think.
I mean, yeah.
I am error.
A lot of those bad translations from Nintendo were pretty good. I like the Metal Gear one where that guy says, I feel asleep.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. How many millions of dollars did Zelda 2 make in the United States? I mean, it was a pretty major game. Maybe not as big as the first one, but yeah, it's just crazy. You can't proofread this thing.
Yeah. The Ghostbusters ending one is really good too. There's like so many mistakes in that one. And like that's like part of a huge franchise. Ghostbusters was huge in the 80s, and they're coming out with these video games that nobody proofread.
Yeah. Well, it was a different time. We didn't have AI proofreaders, I guess.
That is true. Have you seen any movies this week? Did you go to the theater at all?
I've been too busy patrolling the polls over here to actually go out to the cinemas, but I did see on streaming, I think it was on Canopy this month, the 1985 Joe Dante movie, Explorers. You remember this? You see this when you were a kid?
I don't think I have. That's like one of the few Joe Dantes I have not seen.
It's got a very young Ethan Hawke, who I know you're a fan of, a young River Phoenix, and that kid Jason Presson, who you might remember. He's in a bunch of stuff around the time, but it's clearly a movie that came out in the shadow of E.T. It's got those heavy Amblin vibes, and a little kid who's obsessed with space and going to outer space, where he meets cute aliens. It's a weird movie. I can't say that I enjoyed the experience of watching it, although I was glad to go back to it. And the restoration is great. It's a Vinegar Syndrome release, so it looks incredible. And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to see it again, because I had seen it as a kid, and I remembered liking parts of it, but having like big kind of blank spaces in my brain for other parts of it. Like mostly like I didn't remember the second half really much at all. And then you watch it and you're like, okay, now I remember why I blocked this out of my brain, because the second half is not very good. But it's an interesting movie for sure. I think it was kind of like taken away from Joe Dante, and he didn't really have too much involvement in the final edit, I believe. But it's out there. If you want to see it, it's definitely got great pixels at the moment.
Okay. I might check that out. I know this is like a well-regarded movie among some of the Dante heads out there.
I don't think that's true.
I think there's a small Dante segment that likes this movie.
Maybe. But I think, given your age, this being a 1985 movie where the kids are all, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, like it's definitely geared right to our generation, and I think you'll enjoy some parts of it.
Actually, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of that other guy.
Maybe you're thinking of Flight of the Navigator?
No, who's that guy that did Independence Day? Roland Emmerich. I think he did a movie called like The Explorers or something.
Are you thinking about Making Contact? Is that Roland Emmerich?
Maybe, yeah.
Didn't
maybe
we do that on the show?
If we did, I wasn't there for it. But maybe that's the movie I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what you're thinking of. That's got like, I think there's an E.T. doll in the kid's bedroom or something. So everybody always thinks about E.T. when they think about that movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, all right. I'll check that out. I probably should watch the rest of the Joe Dante movies I haven't seen. There's only like 3 of them that I've not seen yet.
Making Contact was a listener pick on episode 293. We reviewed it alongside Spring from 2015 and Mad Foxes.
Oh, okay. I was there for that.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I picked, I didn't pick Spring, but...
Oh, you picked Making Contact.
Did I?
Yeah.
Who the fuck picked Spring then? Which one of you guys would have picked Spring? I love that movie.
Must be Kevin.
I
believe, because it's in the leftmost position in our spreadsheet, and you know what that means.
I know exactly what that means. All right. Well, I love Spring now. I'm going to be voting for that one in the poll when this one pops up.
Well, but you also love Making Contact, as we've just established.
Oh,
I have so many fond memories of this movie that we watched.
I remember nothing.
11 years ago.
Oh my God. Insane that episode 293 was 11 years ago.
Anyways, yeah, we are grandpas. That's a fact. Did you go out to the movies and see anything?
I've seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the theater. Okay, well, all right. Well, first I want to talk to you about this thing.
Yeah.
I got a lot of things to talk to you about because I went to the theater a lot of times. But I saw this thing that you saw. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Oh, you caught up to that. Okay, cool. All right, yeah.
I did.
We can talk about this. So, spoilers for Nirvana, the show, the band, the movie. It's streaming now. Go see it because we'll probably spoil it. And you don't want it to be spoiled because even if I didn't love it, I think people should watch it and watch it unspoiled.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
So I wasn't... did you watch the show first, or is this
No, never. I knew that it was a show, but that was just barely. That's it. I never seen any of these guys' stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. I know people have been talking about it. I kind of assumed it was like a documentary about Kurt Cobain or something. I just had no concept of what even was.
The second N, or the third N rather, in Nirvana didn't persuade you otherwise?
I don't even think I noticed that. I'm a bad copy editor. I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, I also did not love this movie. And like I just don't get it. Like the whole thing is that like they kind of redo Back to the Future, but there's
Yeah.
nothing other than that really. I mean, I guess it's like they redo Back to the Future with like a bunch of like Jackass or Borat style stunts, but like, you know, what's fun about Borat and like, you know, when Jackass does like the prank type stuff, is like Borat's funny. Like you'll watch Borat and you're like, oh my God, how did he do this thing where he kidnapped Pamela Anderson? This is crazy. You're like, how did they do this thing where, you know, he got to sing the Kazakhstan national anthem and congratulate Texas on their war of terror? Like, oh my God, how did they do this? But then all the little connecting points between the big, like kind of crazy stunts, you know, like how did they get Giuliani to try to rape a girl? Like all the little parts between the big stunts, like are funny and like there are jokes and like,
Yeah.
there's like good improv and
Borat himself is just like an inherently funny character. He could just be standing on the sidewalk and there's something kind of baseline funny about that.
yeah. But in Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, it's like there's the big stunts and then nothing. Like the guys aren't funny. The improv is fucking wretched. It's like outside of like the big stunts, which are interesting and cool, and it's you go, oh my God, how did they do that? Like outside of that, it's like the whole joke is just like, hey, do you remember Back to the Future? Hey, do you remember Jurassic Park? Hey, do you remember the Hangover? Hey, do you remember The Dark Knight? Hey, do you remember iPods? Like,
well, to be fair,
fucking nothing to it.
There's another joke, which is one guy is slightly more enthusiastic than the other guy. That's a joke.
Yeah, one guy has a hat, which I guess seems to be a joke.
Yeah. Well, they call it a toonie up there, right?
What
do they call their stupid hats? What do they call a beanie? They got a name for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I should know that because I like hats, but
they don't call it a toonie. That's their money.
Oh yeah. Oh, the bones are their money.
I don't know what that is.
That's a reference to I Think You Should Leave. But yeah, so I was like so underwhelmed that I watched a bunch of the show. I was like, well, there's got to be like some reference I'm not getting, because like it does start out with like them doing like some plan to play the Rivoli.
The Rivoli. Yeah, the Rivoli.
Yeah, where the kids in the hall played. And so like it seemed like they just kind of drop you in expecting that you know what this is and like that this is the whole premise of the thing. So I went back and watched the TV show, and like the TV show's like that too. It's just like, hey, do you remember this thing? Hey, do you remember that? Do you remember this? Hey, like we're recreating a pop culture thing and adding nothing to it. We're just recreating it. Like that's the whole joke. Like, and I don't know. I just don't like understand what's like fun about that really.
Yeah, I think maybe we probably missed a little bit of the impact by streaming this at home. I think some of the fun for its initial audience was like, you know, just seeing it in a theater and having that experience of like, well, this is not the kind of thing you normally get to see in a theater. I think that might have given me a small boost, but yeah, mostly everything that you are saying is correct and kind of how I feel. I do think that there were parts that worked for me. Probably my favorite part was the part where they're going back to their old apartment and trying not to be discovered by their younger selves, because I thought there was a lot of clever editing in that sequence, and it was put together in a way that was pretty convincing, given that they were basically just going through outtakes from their show and trying to put together that scene and figuring out like, how can we make this work? I think the editors did a really good job there. But a lot of the stuff where it's like stunt type stuff that I think was impressive to other people may be sort of unimpressive to me now in this digital age that we live in. Like, and that might be another reason why Borat works so well is you believed that everything that you were seeing on screen really happened and was really captured by cameras. I didn't really feel that here. And maybe I've just been poisoned by AI and CG and, you know, the fact that you can, without even trying, very easily stumble upon like an AI generated video of Liv Morgan doing things that Liv Morgan has never done in a ring. And it's convincing looking, leads me to believe, like, well, then how hard is it to, like, have a scene in a movie where, like, a guy's holding a extension cord and it appears as if it goes across the street and up into the sky? Maybe that was just, it's probably just CG, right?
Yeah,
or like,
I would think so.
Even like the tower in the background, it's pretty easy to do a composite shot like that these days, even without AI. So, and like, the part where he cuts the cable towards the beginning of the movie for the base jumping part, I would imagine that no cable was really cut in real life, that was, he probably reached up and made a motion to cut a cable, and then you used your After Effects, to delete the cable. And so, like, that kind of stuff, unfortunately, isn't impressive to me. And the stunts, as a result, just kind of fall flat. And then, like you said, there's not that many jokes. I thought they were charming, the two guys, and I liked kind of their chemistry together. Like, you could feel that these guys were real friends, and I like seeing that. Yeah. But that's about it, unfortunately, for me. So I'm glad that people liked it, because I think that they seem like really nice guys, like probably fun guys to hang out with, I would imagine. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like these movies maybe work as well for me anymore.
Yeah. Then, like, I mean, another thing is, like, even like that Eric Andre movie, which is like one of these sort of like prank stunt movies, like narrative movies, like, a lot of the punchlines are like that they do a crazy thing and then like a person is pranked, like some normal ass person is like, oh my God, Eric Andre is escaping from jail. And like the funniness comes from like their reaction, Yeah. And in this movie, they'll do something where like one of the guys will like parachute onto like a bus, and like they're like really doing it, like like they've got real people in the shot. They're really jumping onto a bus and making it seem like they parachuted onto it, and then they'll follow the guy, like the main character, to whatever he's doing next. Like they never linger on any reactions. They never get any funny reactions from anybody. So what is the point?
Yeah, and there's even a few times where they do kind of go out of their way to like have a quick little conversation with somebody just standing, like a passerby or somebody, a bystander. And even those didn't feel legit to me. Like, and they were like nothing conversations, just where like somebody's like, oh, is it this way or that way to the Rivoli? And the guy would be like, oh, it's that way. And even those, I'm like, was that a plant? It didn't look like a legitimate reaction to me, but who knows?
Yeah, well, like during the big climax, there's that part where they talk to like a guy who seems to be like a normal random guy. They're like, hey, can you watch the like power jack, like, when they're like plugged into the city's power, they're like, hey, can you watch this and make sure nobody unplugs it? Because I have to go tie it to the top of the CN tower. And the guy's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then like, that's it. Like they never do a prank where like, they have actors as cops, like trying to like unhook it. And you have to like test whether or not like this random guy will actually not let anybody unplug it the way he said he did. Like there's just no payoff to that. The guy's just like, yeah, I'll do it. And we never see him again. Like, so then back to like my original point, it's all in service of just copying Back to the Future, which is perfect. Like you're not going to make anything better than Back to the Future. The whole time I'm watching this, I just wish I'm watching Back to the Future. Like, the first rule of filmmaking is like, don't remind people of better movies than what you're making. Like, I don't know. But I mean, like you said, these guys seem fun. They seem nice. Like, you know, I don't want to like hate on them too hard or anything like that. And I don't hate the movie, but it's just like, what's the fucking point? What are you doing?
Same movie, though, if it comes out 20 years ago, maybe I would like it a lot more. Scenes like the one where they're walking around and they're all amazed that all of the billboards in town are for, 20 years ago or whatever. Again, I'm pretty sure it's probably very easy to replace billboards with, digital copies of, iPod ads from 20 years ago or whatever they were. Like, so I've got no confidence that you actually did a set dressing of all of downtown Toronto for this. Maybe they did, but unfortunately we live now in a world where I can't tell the difference. And by default, I'm going to assume that it's AI.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I saw 2 other movies that I knew.
Okay.
I saw this movie One Night Only,
Okay.
which we talked about in the movie preview. This is the movie that's like The Purge, but with sex.
Yeah. So was it sexy?
Kinda.
Okay,
Oddly
alright.
enough. Like we live in a world where like sexy rom-coms don't exist anymore, and 2 of them have come out in the last couple weeks because that new Greg Araki movie is also out, which is like pretty wild. So maybe we're turning the corner on this sexless era of movie making. But I thought it was fun. It's like a silly high concept thing where like people are only allowed to have sex once a year, so like people go nuts and like have like orgies in the streets of New York like once a year. Like none of that's in the trailer. The trailer makes it just seem like a normal ass rom-com, but I thought it was funny. It was cute.
Yeah, that sounds cool. You know, why not let New York City have some orgies? Why should it only be Death Valley that gets all of the big orgies, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And like kind of a surprisingly expensive movie. Like most of it is taking place in the streets of either New York or like a very well-dressed Toronto or something. Like and then I saw the new Faces of Death movie.
Oh, you're not talking about Faces of Death 3 now on pre-order on vinegarsyndrome.com.
No, I'm talking about Faces of Death 2026, the weird remake that is not a remake. It's just like kind of about the Faces of Death.
But kind of not even about it.
I mean, it's very much about it. Like they like recreate and show scenes from the original. Like the whole movie is about like a murderer, like a serial killer who's like recreating scenes from the OG movies and then like posting them online to go like viral. Which I think is like a very interesting concept. Like it's like very
I don't like that premise. I don't know. I think that's a little bit too close to like, I don't know. I feel like they're playing with fire there.
like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, there could be a copycat based on this that will then, you know, lead to a campaign probably by the, you know, the conservative right to outlaw horror movies forever.
Well, I mean, we're always in danger of that.
Yeah, I guess so. But let's not give these kids ideas, you know?
Well, I think the kids should be doing more murders.
Okay, all right. Well, that's what you said that.
But yeah, it's like sort of like it's. I feel like, I mean, I wrote this on Letterboxd, but like I kind of feel like this is like what the Scream movie should be now. Like it's like this is sort of like what Scream is to Halloween. I feel like this movie is to Faces of Death. Like I think it's like an interesting sort of meta thing, you know, building on top of like this thing. Like because like the whole thing is like, you know, back in the day when we watched Faces of Death as little kids, as people our age did, like you either had to like sneak it from the video store or like have like your cool uncle get it for you, or like you knew like an older kid who made a dub of it. Like it was like, you know, seedy and forbidden, like even by like horror movie standards of the time, you know, and like we were all latchkey kids. So like, you know, we could like have a slumber party with our friends and like get around and watch this crazy ass thing, or at least that's the way it was with me. I watched it with like my older cousins, like on a trip.
Yeah. I mean, they had like a Surgeon General's warning on the tape, basically, to warn
Yeah.
you about renting it.
Yeah. And then like now you can watch stuff that makes Faces of Death look fucking very tame, like just on Instagram and like Facebook Reels and like, you know, like we've all had like fucking Style Project and eFucked bookmarked for the last 20 years. Like,
My slimy pussy is full of bones and animals.
yeah. So like, yeah, kind of like what does Faces of Death mean in a world where you can watch shit more gruesome than that? Like just on Instagram. Like, so I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a good movie.
Okay. All right. So you recommend Faces of Death?
I do.
How was the turnout for that? Any other sickos in the audience, or were you solo bolo?
No, I actually saw that one. It's on Shudder now. I missed it in theaters. It was only in theaters for like a week, but that one
You were too scared?
Well, a little bit too scared. Actually, well, like, I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it. Like, nobody was really talking about it either way. So I was just like, maybe it's mediocre. I'll skip it. But one night only I saw with a crowd who seemed to like it a lot.
Okay, all right. I feel like is there something big coming out this week? What's...
That dinosaur movie's coming out. Whatever it's called.
What dinosaur movie? What the hell are you talking? Paw Patrol, the Dino movie?
Well, actually, yeah, it's funny that there are two dinosaur movies. The End of Oak Street, directed by the guy who did It Follows.
Okay.
And Under the Silver Lake, your favorite movie.
So another title from this guy that is pretty difficult to decipher. I don't think anybody would imagine The End of Oak Street is about dinosaurs.
Yeah, not at all. But it is. It's about dinosaurs.
Well, I'm sure they'll make a ton of money on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's coming out. I'll probably see that.
All right.
But you know what is coming to theaters this week and this Sunday, 2 days from now?
Is it a one-time only event?
Well, it's a 2-time only event. They're also doing it on Wednesday.
I don't know.
It's at Regal Movie Theaters. They're showing The Train to Busan, which you should go see because we're going to be talking about it on Junk for Dinner in a couple of weeks. So you should get that theatrical presentation.
Oh, interesting. I wonder what my screening options are. It's probably like probably limited showtime sort of a thing, though, right? It's not going to be all over the place.
Yeah, no, I think they're showing it like one time a night for like 2 or 3 nights this week for its anniversary. But
all right, well, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, just thought I'd throw it out there in case you want that nice big screen to see a big zombie movie.
All right. Well, speaking of seeing things, I think I see our first segment up ahead.
Okay, all right.
And it's a little segment that I like to call Discovering Dayton.
Oh, hell yeah.
And of course, this will be a little segment in which we discover a little bit of Parker Bowman's hometown of Dayton, Ohio.
That is my hometown. I don't know what these videos are necessarily, but I know that I'm from there.
Now tell me, when did you live in Dayton? What ages? From birth or?
Nah, from like age 3 or something like that.
Before that was what, Florida or?
Colorado.
And
then Alaska.
I don't know if I remember that. What part of Colorado?
Colorado Springs.
Oh, wow. Where I think AEW Dynamite was last week. Or maybe it was Collision.
That's why they were there, to pay tribute to me.
Oh, that makes sense. And then Alaska.
Yeah. My dad was in the Army, so I had to go to Alaska when I was a tiny baby.
Okay. It explains the fascination with Yetis, I guess, right?
Yeah. And snow. I like snow. But yeah, when I was like 3, I moved back to Ohio, and then I was there pretty much, or to Dayton. And then outside of like a couple of months here and there, I was there until 15 years ago when I came to California.
When you were what? You would have been in your late 20s.
Yeah, I was like 29, I think, when I moved.
Okay, all right. So all of your formative years were in Dayton, Ohio, and like I said, we're gonna try and discover the township of Dayton in this segment. I've got 2 videos that we're gonna watch together and just kind of chat over. I did find these videos on YouTube, so you can do that as well if you want to watch along while we chat. The first one is about 7 minutes long, and it's just called Dayton, Ohio, 1965, Cruising Dayton with an 8mm camera. And I think it was uploaded by a guy named Retro Dog. So thanks, Retro Dog. But I think this is just what it says. It's just kind of a little bit of footage driving around town, of which there's probably not a ton of 1965 Dayton, Ohio footage. So this is sort of a treasure, I guess. But let's just get into it and see what we can see here. Maybe you'll recognize some places. Maybe you won't.
Okay. I hope I do.
All right. Well, on the count of 3, we'll hit play. 1, 2, 3.
Cool.
Okay,
Cool.
got some stock music that sounds a little bit like Chris Isaac's Wicked Game.
Yeah.
All right, the
Yeah.
City Loan and the Donut Shop in downtown, what might be downtown Dayton.
Now this looks like it's sort of like, oh yeah, that's McCook's Theater. That's a porno theater.
Oh, well, it wasn't at this time. They were playing
No.
Dr. Zhivago in the mid-60s.
Which is code for cocaine, as we all learned from True Romance. There was even a billboard for the movie. That's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, I guess they love Zhivago in Dayton.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like kind of like the west side of or northwest side of town.
Oh, the Wright Brothers Memorial, U.S. Air
okay.
Force Base.
I've never been there. That's less important to me than the porno theater.
We've got some sort of memorial here. Is that the war memorial or something? Or is it the Wright Brothers Memorial?
It might still be the Wright Brothers Memorial. I've never been to that. I wonder if it's still around.
Now, do they still have this many telephone poles in Dayton? Because I think that they did
Yeah.
something wrong here. What is this all about?
Nah, this is cool. This is
That's how
the
they
way
do
that
it? They just install
Yeah.
them like 2 feet next to each other? What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, we like talking on the phone in Dayton, Ohio. That's, a lot of other cities don't like that. They're not into that. But
Do the
Dayton-
telephone lines have no tensile strength, or what is happening? Oh, I see.
yeah.
I see the issue. You guys are draping your fucking traffic lights from your telephone lines. That's why they're gonna put so many goddamn poles there.
Yeah, that's just like, that's reasonable. I don't think that's a problem.
That's not
You
what
know?
they did when you were living in Dayton, right?
I mean, probably in some parts.
Tell me that they abandoned this form of traffic light hanging. This does not look safe.
Nah, I remember from when I was a kid. They probably don't do it anymore, but I do recall it.
For sure, these stoplights, like once a day, are falling onto cars.
I mean, it's a small price to pay to live in the greatest city in the world.
Okay. Tell me about this road that we're driving on. At such a breakneck speed.
I feel like this is downtown now. This is probably like 3rd Street or something. It's kind of hard to tell.
Oh, you guys got big buildings.
Yeah, they got some nice buildings down there.
I wonder how many of these survived.
Well, that one, see that clock tower in the top left? Oh, it's gone now.
Let's say that I did.
Well, that was there for a long time when I was a little kid. Like, you would pass by it on the highway. Like, you would, go right by, the top of the clock tower.
There it is.
There it is. I think that's, the Mead building. The Mead paper building is what the clock tower is part of. I'm probably getting everything wrong. It's been a long time since I've lived here. But, but yeah, that was there for a long time. And then they saved the clock tower because it's so cool. It's
and because they were
Carolina.
trying to pay tribute to Back to the Future.
Exactly. Which is very popular now. That's the courthouse. It's a cute one. That's
Yeah.
where a major bus stop is. So whenever you were going from Huber Heights to the Dayton Mall in the south part of town, you would have a connecting bus. You'd get off there and hang out for a little bit and get on your connecting bus.
Was that the courthouse where Larry Flint was nearly killed?
No, that was probably Cincinnati.
Yeah, I guess so.
But he did have some bars in Dayton.
Oh, Pepsi signage. I guess Dayton's a Pepsi town.
Yes, very much so. There's a big Pepsi factory, and a lot of the adults when I was growing up would work there. A lot of my friends' parents worked at the Pepsi factory.
But you were kind of rebellious and you clung to the Coca-Cola cans instead, right?
Yeah. When I was a little kid, I liked Mountain Dew. Who makes that? Is that Pepsi?
No, I think they're independent.
Oh, okay. That was what I was into as a little kid.
It's a cool bus,
now-
big yellow bus.
Yeah.
Oh, they had 3 American flags in downtown Dayton?
Yeah. What's that? The
Damn.
Reichs building?
Somebody get this cameraman a seizure pill.
I know, man. This cameraman's going crazy.
Poor guy just died. Oh, he had
people-
to zoom in on this crosswalk. He's like,
Yeah.
check out these pedestrians. We got 2 of them. Some exciting stuff from this 8mm filmmaker in Dayton.
Yeah. I think we're coming up on the intersection where my friend Chris Korn got into a car wreck when he was delivering pizzas one time.
Was it
That's
his
how I-
fault?
I don't think so. Maybe not. We'll ask him. But that's like what I always. He told me that story one time a long time ago. And now, like whenever I would like hit that intersection, I would always think of that.
Sound of Music at the DeBell Theater? Is that what it was?
I don't know. I don't even know that.
You know the Belmont Bakery and Meat Market?
I know the Belmont neighborhood.
Man, their signage is great. I bet
That
you
is
Marvel
good.
would try to cover this shit up, though.
Probably.
Sip Nip Liquor?
Oh yeah. I feel like yeah.
Is
I feel
Sip
like maybe I
Nip still
remember
there? Till
No.
2:30 a.m.? You can't sell liquor after 2 a.m., Sip Nip. What are you doing?
that. Most certainly you can in Dayton, Ohio.
You can?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
What is it, 24 or what's the deal?
No, I think bars close at 2:30.
Oh, so they just get 30 extra minutes in Dayton compared
I mean,
to
I
the
guess.
rest of the country.
No, I think every state's different, or like maybe even every town. Like
Everywhere
it's
that
early
I've
here in
ever
California.
been. No, I thought it was 2 a.m. everywhere, as far as I knew.
It's like 1 a.m. in California.
No, it's not.
I think so. It's pretty early.
I don't think that's right.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Anyways, looks like we're heading out of downtown now. We're getting towards this overpass. Maybe he's going to get on the old highway, head over to Cincinnati. Who knows?
Could be, yeah. But yeah, Belmont's a cool neighborhood. There's a cool.
Oh,
Howard
damn.
Johnson's.
28 flavors at the Hojo's. I guess that's how Baskin thrived, is that they offer just a little bit more. And the Bargain Barn, that looks like a really cool store. I think what we've learned is that signage used to be great. What is that? North Star. North Star Drive-In Theater. What's playing at the North Star Drive-In Theater?
I don't even know. That one was closed by the time I started going to drive-ins. So as of August 2026, California law dictates that bars and restaurants must stop serving alcohol at 2. So it must have been earlier.
No, it was never earlier.
It must have been if they just changed the law to be 2 a.m.
No.
I'm going to have to look into
Now
it.
you're just fooling around.
Oh,
Anyways, that was Cruising Dayton. Did it bring back memories?
Yeah, of course. I actually watch these sometimes. There's a page that I like on Facebook, and someone posts like the same exact thing, but from the 90s, which is obviously more my speed than the 60s. But seeing the 60s is cool. Seeing the like 80s is really cool too. It's like that's kind of how I remember Dayton from being like a tiny baby. But yeah, this is fun.
Well, speaking of seeing the 80s, we do have a second video that we can review that I think will help us maybe unlock some of the secrets of Dayton, Ohio. This is from an uploader named Bosey McWhy, BOSEYMCWHY. And the video is just entitled 1986-1988 Dayton, Ohio Local Commercials. So I guess it's going to be just what it says, some local TV commercials from Dayton.
Okay.
All right, so this one's about 14 minutes, and I guess we'll just go ahead and hit play if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and play.
This dude Bob Tazone. I remember watching his commercials all the time as a kid.
Why is he screaming at me? He's trying to sell me a car?
Yeah, he wants you to buy a car.
Well, just calm down, buddy. Maybe I will. Very aggressive salesman.
Look at this Ford Escort.
Yeah, I would buy that for sure.
Man, with 3.9 fixed rate financing, how the fuck could you not buy that? What have they
Man,
done to us?
are you of the mind that it's generally like the worst looking cars from the 80s are now the coolest? Because I kind of think that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Who is this man?
This guy is canceled now. Tom Raper, he sells mobile homes in Richmond, Indiana, which is like 45 minutes away. Always very funny that this man's name was Tom Raper.
Even in 1986 to 1988, I would think people would have questions about this man's name.
He should have fucking changed it.
I guess if that camper is a rockin', maybe you should come a knockin'. Make sure that everything's consensual in there.
Yeah. Now this is Elder Beerman. Was this a national chain or was this a
I've
Dayton?
never heard of Elder Beerman.
Oh man, Elder Beerman was great. It was the place to go.
Elder Beerman is
for
the guy
Christmas.
that sits on the end of the bar. You know, he's been there his whole life.
Yeah.
All the
Well, Elder
patrons know
Beerman's the
him.
guy who will tell you that most states, last call is 2 a.m., but Arizona, Indiana, Tennessee, and Alaska are later than 2 a.m.
Yeah, those are not real
Missouri-
states.
Those are real. Midnight in Mississippi, if you can believe that.
That's crazy.
And 24 hours a day in Louisiana and Nevada.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to find out what California's used to be.
it's always been 2 since at least the year 2000.
Nah.
I
That was
remember
early.
closing down bars in my heyday, Bowman.
I mean, you live in a lawless place, Los Angeles.
Oh, that's fair. What about the Salem Mall? You ever buy a car there?
I never bought a car there, but Salem Mall was really cool. It was like dying when I was a teenager, but that like kind of made it cool. They had a really cool store where I bought a Night of the Living Dead shirt as a kid. I was very proud of that shirt.
Okay.
This was back before the internet. You had to find something cool in the wild. I don't know what these guys are doing, what they're selling.
Yeah, I don't really know either. I just know that lady kind of looked like 1980s porn star Tyja Ray.
I vaguely remember the Holiday Health Spa commercials.
Dayton 22 and WWSN are offering Greater Dayton over $100,000.
Well, you could win $10,000 towards a new car
Here's this
if
I
you've
would
got
love
this
to.
winning check. What is winning check number?
I don't know.
That's some sort of lottery system, but with checks, personal checks or something.
Check number. You have 15 minutes to call
I don't know.
457-077 to claim
You're the
your
Dayton
cash
expert,
prize.
man. Help me unlock
Winning
these
check number
secrets.
will be announced
I have no idea what this is.
7:15.
Were you a big fan of FM 107.7?
No, I've never heard of that before in my life. I did watch a lot of WKEF, though.
Were you a big fan of the 1987 Lynx GS?
For $139 a month, yeah, I'd be I'm the number one fucking fan. What have they done to us?
Damn, dude. What was a Lynx even? Is that really a car maker?
I guess so. I never heard of such a thing.
I knew of.
Comes with a digital clock inside, though.
Maybe Atari made this car.
Jesus, can you imagine buying a car for $139 a month?
I don't even know what people pay for cars anymore, so maybe that's, I don't know, not that crazy. Maybe it's very crazy.
I mean, well, I just paid off my car not too long ago, and it was like $350 a month, and I feel like that's like a very, very outdated number.
You
I feel
got one
like
of
it's
these
probably
new
twice
cars, though, right?
It's like a 2018.
Yeah, that's pretty new, dude.
Yeah.
We're rolling on a 2012, I think. It's old.
Well, keep driving it. These car prices, you don't even want to know what these prices are today.
No, I
It's
don't
not
really know.
$139 for a Lynx, I'll tell you that much.
I don't think I'm ever going to buy a car that has a computer in it. I think that's my policy.
Yeah, there's a new Chinese company that is manufacturing cars with no computers in them, and I think that those motherfuckers are going to make a lot of money because that is very appealing.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually been looking at used 2013 Honda Fits to try and find one with low mileage, but if there's a new car being made that is like, you know, old school, I would prefer that. But
Yeah.
all right, this guy's trying to sell me a Ford in this kind of a trench coat, and you think I'm going to trust you, man?
He looks like a CIA agent. What?
CIA.
I'm going to buy another from him.
And or a, you know, just a flasher. He's like the flasher gremlin with this trench coat.
Yeah.
No way I'm going down to Miamisburg.
Oh, I love Miamisburg. You got to go down there.
What the hell is Miamisburg?
It's where they sell the good hamburgers. When you come to Dayton, we'll go to Miamisburg and get the good hamburgers with Kevin.
All right, so now the beerman is trying to sell me something Coca-Cola related, but it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what they're trying to sell. Why did the word Coca-Cola come up? Coca-Cola by Merjani. What is this?
Is that the kind of jacket he's got? I don't know.
It's the Coca-Cola collection of clothing
I think so.
with college co-eds? That was very confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is very serious about trucks. He's got 200 trucks. I think what we're learning about Dayton is people like to buy cars, I guess, in Dayton.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. These trucks are $125 a month. I would buy fucking 7 of these.
Yeah, I think this guy is upset, that he's losing so much money on these trucks. I can't stop selling these things at these cut rate prices, but it's really screwing me over.
Jeez.
Tom Raper declares war on prices?
Tom Raper should avoid violence in his commercials.
These guys got to calm down and just try and, make a little money for themselves. I know you're dedicated to giving a great deal, but I'm concerned about the viability of their business. Do you think Tom Raper's still around in Richmond?
I would not be surprised. I mean, he was a pretty popular guy, I think, for selling motorhomes and whatever else, RVs and the Hara Arena. Now, this is a great place.
Ooh, bad news.
He's gone?
April 14th, 2015, Thomas Ray Reaper, 76, went to be with the Lord at Holy Cross Hospital.
Does his business remain, though?
Well, nobody cares if the rape man himself is gone.
Well, that's a good point. But Hara Arena is a good place. I saw the Foo Fighters there and Green Day. Two separate shows.
Was that Giraffe there?
No, the Giraffe was not there. Also, there was an ECW pay-per-view that was held there. At least one. One of the summer ones.
Now, this commercial with all of the children stuffed animals in the cars, I didn't see the beginning of the commercial. This is not Tom Raper, right?
No.
I just want to make sure we don't let Tom Raper try and appeal to kids like this.
This is a different guy.
Oh, here's Jamie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man, I love this commercial.
Yeah, this is good. These people, man.
They shot this in the volume, clearly. You can tell.
Yeah. I hope that there's a Philman's commercial.
A which?
Only time.
A what?
Yeah. Philman's. It's like a head shop where the guy made like real goofy commercials. I hope he shows up in here. You'll like him.
Okay.
You love weed.
This is that same guy that was shouting at me at the beginning of this compilation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, this is that guy. He's intense. I forget his name now. What?
Oh, but this is for a carpet warehouse? Maybe it's not the same guy.
I think it is the same guy, though.
Yeah, maybe everybody in Dayton who's in their 50s or 60s looks exactly the same.
Man, this guy was probably 38 years old.
Yeah, that's fair.
People were different, felt different back then.
Now, this guy, for my money, he's got the most charisma out of any of these motherfuckers. Look at this. Look at the little head waggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like a guy presenting to me in a commercial where his entire body seems to be like locked down, like it's rigor mortis style, except that his neck is kind of wobbling around.
Yeah. I like what he's doing here.
And a strong beard on this gentleman. Okay, we got a foxy lady. Who's this? Is that Kathy Lee Gifford?
There's a lot of production value going into this one. This is not local.
This can't be a local commercial.
Yeah.
You don't have saxophones in Dayton. Is that Billy D. Williams?
I was looking at the...
Is this the cast of Breakin'?
Signage. Who are these people?
Weekdays and Saturday at 7 on Channel 22.
Channel 22? How was that a commercial just for a channel? It wasn't for a specific movie or TV show? It was... Do they really shoot all of those different scenarios just for Channel 22?
I imagine that was the kind of thing that, like, the network shot, and then the affiliates probably just put their little logo on.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe NBC or whatever shot that out in LA.
Yeah, because there was a lot of production value going into that.
Yeah, you're not going to get Billy D. Williams to go to Dayton.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I would have done the math. That guy had his car. It was like $139 a month for X amount of months. I wish I was fast at math.
We just going to let this Marvin Hamlish commercial go by without commenting on it?
I like the Dayton Art Institute, though. I've been there quite a few times. It's nice.
Oh, yeah? What do they got?
I went there to see a Rodin exhibit, and they had a lot of Rodins.
Oh, okay. And in Japan, he's very common.
Exactly.
I'm a fan of Japanese movies.
$500 cash on selected tempos, $750 cash on selected Mustangs. I'm going for the Mustang.
Yeah. All right. So you get a Ford Tempo for $10,000.
My mom had this Mustang. She had one of these pretty much this year. Maybe it was 1 year removed, but the one with the kind of ugly, like, I don't even know how to describe it, like Venetian blinds in the back instead of like a normal rear view window. On the trunk, it was like this weird Venetian blind type system.
I like that. This commercial looks like the back rooms.
Oh yeah. Yeah, probably there's some freakishly tall pirate guy. Which, by the way, did you see that was a suit actor in that thing? Have you seen that YouTube behind the scenes on the back rooms?
Yeah, that's a dude.
I thought that was cool. And respect to that guy. I like that guy.
Yeah.
I just assumed that it was all CG, I guess.
Huh? Nah, that was a real ass guy.
This Dodge, probably also CG, I'm guessing. I don't think a car could be this cool.
Yeah. I don't think a car could be 35 cents a day.
No.
Tom Raper, Richmond, Indiana, announces a spectacular RV.
Man, Tom Raper's still at it.
Yeah,
still
this is
caught
like
him.
the frequency that Tom Raper commercials would come on in real life, too. Like, they were just always on.
He's persistent. It's the one thing that we'll say about Tom Raper. Does not take no for an answer.
I don't know. Like, he must have been selling a lot of these fucking RVs and mobile homes. Like, I don't know who was buying them.
Yeah. If you need a V, get it from Tom.
Yeah.
All right, we got another car commercial. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Probably
a lot
the
of car
final ad.
commercials. This is Terry Toby. I remember this guy.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed in Bozy McWise's selection here. Maybe it's not his fault, but I was hoping for some like local restaurants or I don't know what.
Yeah, or a Phil Man's commercial.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
You gotta check Phil Man out.
I guess I will. All right, well, that's all we got from Bozy McWise, 1986 to 1988, Dayton, Ohio, local commercials. I feel like I've learned a little bit, though, about Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, you learned about Tom Raper.
That was the main thing. Yeah, that's probably the main thing that I learned.
Yeah.
Is that we lost him, sadly, about 12 years back.
R.I.P.
All right, well, and that was a segment. And traditionally after a segment, what I like to do, and call me crazy, what I like to do is listen to a voicemail.
I like to do the same. I think we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about Cobra Woman from 1944. So stick around.
Tired of only hearing your junk food dinner hosts talk to you? You want to start talking to them? Then pick up your Zach Morris-like cellular phone and dial 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865. Leave us a message about the movies we've talked about. Did we give a good review to a movie you think sucks? Did we take a crap on your favorite movie? Let us know. Or call it to suggest a movie, or tell us why you hate LeBron James. Remember to leave a name and the city you represent when you call. We are very lonely, and rarely hear the voices of other humans.
So dial this number now if you dare. Tell them Betty sent you.
King Cobra!
Montez, queen of Technicolor. Twice as lovely, twice as exciting. Playing a dual role as twin sisters of the tropics, vying for love. One through power, the other through pleasure. See a greater Montez, venomous in hate, rapturous in love. A more daring John Hall, a rascally Sabu, with Lon Chaney, Edgar Barrier, Lois Collier, Mary Nash, and Coco, in a story containing all that you desire in romance and adventure. The horror of masses terrified by King Cobra. The thrill of sinuous beauties in the dance of the snakes.
You kissed me at the pool, remember?
Yes,
You knew me then,
I thought I did.
and you know me now.
Do you think you could find the place again if these men went with you?
Oh, no. They get lost. I get lost. Very useless.
Double the guards. I want every inch of the island searched until that girl and those strangers are found.
I, Martok, demand that these two strangers shall die in the manner devised by me and prescribed by our island custom.
Welcome back to Junk Food Supper. The movie we're talking about here tonight is The Cobra Woman from 1944. This is directed by our man, Robert Siodmak. Probably is how you might say his name, perhaps.
Sort of an odd Mac, that Robert.
Absolutely. This guy did a bunch of movies, in the 40s and the 50s.
Some film noirs, I think.
Yeah, it looks like he's a big film noir guy. Looks like maybe he did some even older movies in the 30s. The Killers is his most popular movie on Letterboxd, which is probably some sort of a noir. He did a Son of Dracula movie.
Cobra Woman, not one of his most popular.
Well, it's like number 15 out of 60. I mean,
Yeah.
But not, kind of not popular. Did some pirate movies. I don't know much about this guy. This got on my radar because of like a weird dance sequence that happens in this movie. I think I caught it on Instagram Reels in between watching decapitation videos and monkey brain eating videos, as we do now.
I was wondering where you came across this, because in my mind, this is much more of a Kevin Moss pick or even a Sean Byron pick than a Bowman pick.
I do agree with that. I do wonder if Kevin has seen this. Sometimes when I pick these really old movies, like for Junk Food Supper, I feel bad that I'm excluding Kevin, because I feel like this is probably a bit of a Kevin movie.
Could have extended, an invitation to the man.
Well, sometimes when I message him or call him, he just hangs up immediately. He says,
fair enough.
I told you not to call this number. He says stuff like that.
He said, this junk mail line is for listeners only. Stop calling it, Bowman.
Yeah. He says, I'll talk to you during predetermined recording times and no other times. As per the restraining order I have. That's what he says to me.
I especially thought it was a Kevin Moss pick before I had watched it, and I was under the assumption that it would be maybe somewhat of a horror movie, or at least have some special effects where a lady transforms into a snake or something.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I thought that, I kind of thought so, that it would be, it's about an evil cult who I think does have, well, maybe they don't even have special powers, but I was expecting a little bit more from it, but yeah, the dance sequence is what caught my eye, and it's kind of been on my to-do list ever since that. And so yeah, kind of now that we have the new rules, which is why we're all here. For the new rules.
That's the only reason that we're here.
I just came on the show for the new rules.
Where we have to switch our decades around. I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll do an old movie that I've been meaning to do. This is fun. This is a good excuse for that. So thumbs up to the new rules.
All right.
It's the only reason the Cobra Woman's here. But yeah, so yeah, I would like to get into this movie, I suppose. I think it might be based on a book, maybe, or a short story or something. But yeah, so we've got our man John Hall, who was on Mutiny. He was in Mutiny on the Bounty and The Invisible Agent and The Invisible Man's Revenge, stuff like that. Also a movie called Beach Girls and the Monster. That looks pretty good. All right, that's added. I'm adding that one to the list. And a movie called White Savage, which I'm sure is problematic. He's our leading man. He's like a kind of a colonizing sailor guy. We're out here probably in Southeast Asia, I believe, although I don't, it's kind of nondescript. We got, like a bunch of sailors and colonizers hanging out on a beautiful desert island, not a deserted island. And our man here, John Hall, is engaged to Maria Montez, who was in The Invisible Woman, Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, Arabian Nights.
Yeah, together with Sabu and John Hall.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the three of them had a run of 3 movies, maybe kind of just in a row there, of Arabian Nights, White Savage, and then this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just thought she was also in White Savage. She's a Dominican-born actress, which of course means that she's playing anything other than an English person in her movies.
And also, of course, it means
Baba Boom.
True. Very true. That is the reason to watch this movie, pretty much. Yeah, so they're engaged. The aforementioned Sabu. We've also got Sabu in this. He's not only genocidal, but he's homicidal, of course, as we all know about him. He's a young man, an Indian actor who was in a bunch of stuff, Black Narcissus, the aforementioned movies with these other fellows.
Jungle
probably
Book.
The inspiration for Johnny Quest's sidekick friend, I would imagine, maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe that's me being problematic by thinking that.
And he was the namesake for Sabu the wrestler, because I guess Sheik was a big fan of Sabu the actor.
Oh, okay. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, he's in this as well. He's like kind of like John Hall's sidekick. And so him and Maria Montez are engaged. She has like a weird birthmark or something on her wrist that looks like two bite marks from perhaps a cobra. And she doesn't know how they got there. He doesn't know how they got there. He wants to know the story.
Were they supposed to be birthmarks? I thought it was supposed to be that she had these real bites that were like kind of like stigmata that were appearing and she didn't know what to do with.
Yeah, that very well could be. It was like she just has like these mystery marks on her. I thought it was like kind of a permanent thing, but it might have been temporary. Or like just appearing at the beginning of the movie. But
it looked like they were bleeding though.
That is true, yeah. The impression I got is that they were permanent, but yeah, it is weird that they were bleeding, that they would constantly just be bleeding, but...
Although, I mean, that's one of the many mysteries of women, though, right, Bowman?
True. Yeah, so they're engaged, they're hanging out on this little island, and some weird figures show up and cause a hullabaloo. They kidnap her, take her. There's some really cool matte painting stuff on this island to like kind of give the illusion of there being like a big village here, which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
a lot of good.
The big matte painting of the Toronto Tower,
the CN Tower.
Yeah, the CN Tower in Toronto.
Yeah, they have to jump off of it.
Let's not discount my joke just because I didn't know the term CN Tower. It's the Toronto Tower. Nobody knows the CN Tower.
I was just trying to clarify that you were making a callback to Nirvana, the band, the show.
I was trying my damnedest.
I apologize.
All right, let's run it back. I'll say, they had that matte painting of the Sky Dome. Is that better?
Yeah. I know what you were talking about now.
I think they still call it the Sky Dome.
You know, I've been in that CN Tower.
Have you really?
I have.
You went all the way to the top?
I went all the way, not to the very top like those people do where they're like outside, but I went to the very top where they have like the glass floor that is very scary.
Okay. That's something. I mean, that's not as cool as if you went to the top like these Nirvana the band guys.
I mean, I was probably like 30 feet below the top. There's a restaurant up at the top that rotates around. That is very good.
That seems too terrifying, given what we know about these kinds of places and the final destination risks that may occur there.
Yeah, now that I've seen Final Destination, I would not eat there. But at the time, it was fun.
All right, well, CN Tower featured prominently in Cobra Woman.
Yeah, anyways, yeah, Cobra Woman. So, yeah, so this guy, he grabs Sabu. He's like, hey, we're going to go. We're going to follow. We're going to save my woman. We don't know who these people are that kidnapped my woman, but we got to go find out. Turns out Maria Montez is royalty, and her sister is like the evil titular Cobra Woman who is in charge of this weird cult.
By the way, I do love the Bechdel test, flaunting that occurs when you name a movie after, a female character, the Cobra Woman, but then the movie's actually about a guy rescuing a lady. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's least give some agency to these Cobra women, right?
That would be nice. I mean, and especially considering that at least according to Letterboxd, I don't know how it is in the movie, Maria Montez has top billing. So yeah, you would think it'd be about her. But I mean, she does play the two roles. She probably has the most screen time, I guess, even though she's not the main character. But
yeah, but it's split between two characters. So
yeah,
I'm sure this John dude, his character probably got the most.
Yeah. I mean, she is by far the best part of this movie, though.
Yeah.
Main guy's kind of boring. But, so yeah, so they just want her to be back, part of the cult that worships cobras. She plays both roles, her and her sister, Tolia and Naja. She does a salacious little dance number with her booty cheeks at one point in the movie that riles up all the other cultists and her handmaidens and stuff. Our two guys are like trying to rescue their lady. There's one point where they run into some quicksand that I thought was fun. Sabu almost falls into the quicksand and dies, but he's saved. It's kind of a quick little action number that I liked. Quicksand used to be very important in pop culture, not so much anymore.
I thought he was going to die until Bill Alfonso reached out with a chair and saved him.
Exactly. And then, kind of like, I mean, this movie's pretty short. It's only 71 minutes, but there's not a lot going on in it. There's a great scene where Maria Montez acts as both characters in the same scene. She's very foxy. That's, as we said, the reason to watch this movie.
Baba Boom.
For being 1944, she wears some pretty tight, revealing clothing as well, which was a little bit surprising. And this is I guess it's Technicolor, so it's aside from her just being Vava Voom is pretty to look at, even though the sets are kind of cheap, and it's very clearly just filmed in a backlot. The tropical island is just basically a kind of a wooded area that you might find in LA.
Yeah, you might find a utility infielder for the Boston Red Sox wandering around.
Exactly.
That's the tropical stuff is all at the LA County Arboretum, which is a beautiful little park right behind that Arcadia Mall where we had Chinese food once.
Oh yeah, I like that mall. I like that mall a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It. I mean, it works. It looks a little cheap and stuff by today's standards, but I mean, it works for the movie. And then there's a big climactic fight, which is very fun, where these guys kind of live up to the Sabu lifestyle. A lot of the choreographed fighting in the big rescue scene is just there'll be like 7 guards who are like beating the crap out of the main guy, and then like Sabu will like climb up a rope and then like get on like a balcony and jump off onto them. And then they'll just switch. Then like the guys will start beating up Sabu, and then the main guy climbs up and then he'll jump off. Like this kind of thing they do over and over. So it's easy to see that Sabu was influenced by this movie. And then a guy kind of gets killed a little bit violently too near the end, like the high priest guy, who's killed by Lon Chaney, who's in this movie for 4 seconds and happens to just bookend it and also be the hero of the day at the end somehow. Also Lon Chaney definitely wearing brown face in this movie, a little bit unfortunate. A little unfortunate. What is the way you play the ha-ha? He is.
Definitely is, yeah.
Definitely
it's amusing to all of us.
All right, okay, that counts. And yeah, I don't know. Then they rescue the lady. That's about it. It's pretty, it's just like a little short, simple, thrilling adventure romp. I don't know. I think it's fine. I like this probably more than I would like the average movie from 1944. Because it's, just kind of silly and action-packed and gets to the point. 71 minutes. Chef's kiss there. They knew exactly what they were doing. I imagine it's probably played it as a double feature at drive-ins and stuff, which is probably why it's so short. Drive-ins were, I think they were coming out around this time, right? They were kind of a new thing in 44. That's when they were,
it's also probably short because it's wartime, and I think all the movies were short.
Oh, yeah. That also makes sense.
People didn't have time for entertainment. They had to go home and, press tin cans or something for the war effort.
Yeah, they could not relax in these times. But yeah, this isn't like anything that'll like blow you away. But if you got to spare 71 minutes and you want to watch some old timey sort of adventure, it's like very pulpy, very campy, very kind of silly. It would be better if the main guy and Sabu were like good whatsoever. Like they're super boring, but yeah, I don't know. I like this. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I had never seen this one before, and I had 71 minutes to spare, so I didn't mind indulging in some old grandpa film action for a bit. And first thing first is this is a great looking movie. It's got that real 1940s Technicolor in the Academy ratio, and it's got all those, like old school super close up glamour shots where they would shoot them with like those massive old lenses, and you get that kind of ethereal quality to them, that typically, I'm used to seeing those in black and white. So when you see those in full Technicolor, it's pretty awesome. But that's mostly what this movie has to offer. It's, basically pretty looking people in pretty looking costumes for 70 minutes. You get that one dance scene, but to be honest, I'm surprised that this was not more of like a dance type movie. I could see this just being like a straight up Ginger Rogers tap dancing extravaganza. And then, maybe they would have actually reached the full 90 minutes. But I do like the costumes. Like you mentioned, Maria Montez, when she's playing the jungle babe, she's got a very tight gown that is, pretty surprising, pretty foxy. And then when she's the Cobra Queen, she's got this like very ornate dress with like snake scales on it that I thought looked really cool. The way that they sparkled on camera looked great. And just in general, like every costume in this is so ornate and so distinct. It almost feels like they were planning a massive line of action figures or something, which of course was not a thing in the 1940s. But imagine if there were like Mego style toys. And you had all these like Barbie-sized figures with all these characters with their, Bob Mackie-esque gowns on it. I think they could have done something with that. But yeah, I like the costumes. Story was boring. And maybe it's my fault for expecting something more fantastic than we actually got. But I was kind of struck by the lack of special effects in this. And the fact that the Snake Island people are just regular white people with mid-Atlantic accents, except for the queen who's got a Dominican accent. But Could have made them a little more exotic or something. I don't know. But I like that final fight that you mentioned. I will say that there are a couple of other fights earlier on in the picture that were clearly filmed before they decided to make fight scenes interesting in movies. And they're just like very boring. But yeah, the final one's got 1 billion people on screen, which is something. And you got guys swinging off ropes on the walls, which I liked. But nobody breaks out into like Cobra style kung fu or anything. So, I mean, it's not that exciting. It's mostly just grabbing guys by the shoulders because that was the big move back then. You know, you'd give a guy a cross look and he'd say, hey, don't give me a cross look. And then you'd grab him right by the shoulders. And that would be the end of that. Sort of a lost art these days, grabbing shoulders. But yeah, I mean, outside of the costumes, this is a very cheap and quickly made movie that they shot in 2 places, the Arboretum and the back lot. And they used a lot of matte paintings. When they arrive at the Snake Village, it's not so much a matte painting, more like a matte drawing, you know, with like crayon or colored pencils. It's pretty lo-fi. Maybe you might have borrowed it from Dustin Ferguson, this Robert Siodmak, because it's pretty obviously a matte. The sets are fun. I mean, they're not grand in scale or anything. Like there's this one scene where they're like, oh, we got to climb this wall, and it's, oh man, that's a really high wall that we got to climb as part of our adventure. And then the camera pans over and the wall's, I don't know, it's like 12 feet tall or something. It's not a very high wall. Probably, you know, when they were writing the script that they imagined that they could just have whatever size wall they wanted, but they were limited by their funds in this wartime production. Or like the Snake Woman's cave lair just kind of looks like a set we would see in a Shaw Brothers movie, just gray background, you know, but they're fun, you know, and the colors in these sets typically are very vibrant. So hopefully Natalie Kalmus got a commission on this picture. But as for the cast, you know, I thought we would get more Lon Chaney. Maybe the thinking there is, you know, at the end of the day, Lon Chaney is not an actor whom you want to see in full color. So maybe they were like, okay, we'll minimize his participation in this, you know, save the audience the frights of seeing this man's face in full Technicolor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Maria Montez. I mean, it's pretty interesting, I think, that there was a Dominican star in the 1940s who was like a pretty major star, it seems like. Like, I don't know too much of her, you know, her work. I don't think I've seen her in anything. Maybe I've seen her in 1 or 2 things, but would like to know more about her because it's fascinating to me that she was able to break through and be a success at that time when Hollywood was so closed off. I mean, you can see the hesitation in here of casting Latino people when, you know, I mean, we end up with Sabu and the only other Latino role in this, you know, who is an Indian person and not, you know, from Latin America, obviously. So interesting that she got this career, and I liked her in this, and I thought she was good at the dual role. I mean, good kind of on a relative scale. It's not like this is some Meryl Streep level performance or something, but it worked for this. And there is that one shot that you mentioned, the one scene where she's having a conversation with herself, you know, in the 2 different roles. And I got to say, you know, we've seen that before in other movies where you've got one actor, you know, playing 2 roles and they fake it with mirrors or whatever, or they do a composite shot, you know. This might be the best that has ever looked, which I can't understand in this movie that feels so cheap. It's got these real crummy mats where you can see the seams on them, like from a mile away. There's that one where it's like, they do the matte painting where like the top of the palm trees are real palm trees, but then from immediately downwards, like the whole trunk of the palm tree is a matte, and it doesn't even line up. Like you can see like, oh, the trunk doesn't line up to the head of the palm. Somehow with this composite shot of Maria Montez twice, there's no seams, there's no softness or anything, like it's been double exposed. It just looked perfect, which I really like to see that. And I like that I got to see another Sabu movie. You know, he's an interesting actor, had an interesting career, you know, was discovered at random basically by a documentary filmmaker in the 1930s and kind of stumbled into a long, well, not super long, but an intensely famous run. And, you know, he is kind of one of those guys that has a bit of a, you know, sad sack child actor story where, you know, Hollywood had no time for a fully adult version of Sabu. So he pretty much dwindles his career after this. I think he served in the war like immediately following this. And then when he came back, he just kind of couldn't get work. But at least, you know, he didn't die in a GCW ring at the hands of Joey Janela. So could have been worse for the Sabu.
True. Yeah.
And, you know, speaking of sad stories, you got to assume the monkeys in this movie had a rough time in Hollywood circa 1944. But man, do they look good. 100 times better than CG, right?
Yeah. That is one thing, that I didn't mention. They have an orangutan. It's an orangutan.
Maybe a chimp, but who knows?
Yeah, some sort of an ape sidekick that helps them fight the Cobra cult. And very, very charming little monkey.
Which I assume is just in here because Sabu was well known for the Jungle Book. And they're like, all right, we give him a monkey sidekick. Because it doesn't really make any sense in the context of the story. But I'll take it, you know, a monkey's a monkey.
Yeah, I mean, they're on like an island, throw a monkey in there. Like, it's very Hollywood of the time.
Yeah, why not? So overall, I don't want to say that I enjoyed this. I mean, I guess in a nutshell, we got like A+ costumes and A- sets, B+ photography, and, you know, I guess A+ film stock. But it's all in service of like a D- story with D+ performances, which probably lands it around a C, I guess, for me. But so not something that I would recommend, but if you're in the mood for some colorful exotica, you know, like a visual equivalent of a Les Blanc record, I say go for it. The restoration is very nice, probably as good as any recent restoration I've seen of classic Warner Brothers or Universal Technicolor pictures. So if you like Technicolor, it'll be a treat for you. So I got no regrets watching Cobra Woman.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it. And I agree. Perfectly reasonable film. Nothing too great. Don't write home about it though. But perfectly reasonable if you're into this sort of thing.
And if you're not, at least go check out that one dance scene, you know?
Yeah. Then you'll be jerking off the way your grandpa used to.
Va va voom.
But what about next week? What are we going to be whacking off to next week?
Well, funny you mention that because one of these is kind of a sexy comedy, I would say.
Okay.
That maybe some people might consider whacking off to. I'm not going to suggest that you would, but you know, some people out there who are less dedicated to film analysis than you know, they might just watch this and jerk off rather than take notes. But I got 3 picks. I got 3 years. I'll just give you the years. 1976, 1999, or 2001.
Well, I feel like this must be some sort of a trick because you know I'm probably going to pick 99. So it's got to be the worst one.
I think that you would probably say it is the worst one. But I think the consensus critically, you know, probably Richard Roper would say that 1999 was the best of these.
Richard Roper would say that?
Yeah. That was the guy, right? That replaced Siskel.
That definitely means it's the worst one.
Yeah. Okay, so process of elimination then. You got 76 and 2001.
Yeah. I actually just learned, you know that movie Willow?
Yeah.
In that movie, there's like a 2-headed dragon that's like really ugly and eats people. It's like a bad guy.
Okay.
I learned that thing is named like Ebert Siskel or something like that. The Ebert Sisk, something like that, because George Lucas wanted to make fun of Siskel and Ebert because they always like gave his movies bad reviews. So he made an ugly monster named after them. I think that's funny.
He really showed it to them.
Yeah, big two-headed monster.
And they probably gave the movie 2 thumbs up, not even realizing the folly that they were playing into.
That very well could be. I wonder if they knew while watching it or if they found out later. But anywho. This is tough. I feel like there's some sort of trick going on here.
There's no tricks, only treats.
It seems fishy to me that you would give me 2 newer movies around the time where I like movies the most. All right, I got to go with 2001.
You're going with A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, the Space Odyssey movie. That's the one.
All right, 1999, you did not select Nicolas Cage starring in Bringing Out the Dead.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm guessing Richard Roper liked. Probably critics were excited about the new Scorsese.
I feel like that movie was pretty hated when it first came out.
Okay, well, not as hated as the 2001 pick that you picked. Man, what a flop! What a bomber-rooski you picked.
Oh no! Wait, tell me the 70s movie.
Well, I'm going to tell you the 76 one, and then I might never tell you the 2001 movie that you picked until we actually watch it.
You just send me a file that just says movie.
Yeah, and it self-immolates on viewing so that you can't pre-watch it or anything like that.
Okay.
1976 would have been the Italian sex comedy that I was hoping you would pick because I think you would really like. It's called.
So you were going with reverse psychology. You knew it was some sort of a trick.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was really close to picking the 76 one.
You could have picked Coeds. It's a 1976 sex comedy from Italy. Set in a school with like a nerdy kid that falls in love with his teacher. Very funny movie that I think you would like. Instead, you picked 2001's, I think, live-action debut from director Henry Selick, Monkey Bone.
Oh, okay. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, which, I'm also cool with because I've wanted to rewatch this since first seeing it back in 2001. And my memory is that it's not great, but it's like got interesting sets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've actually never seen it. I remember it being like a thing back in the olden days, and I just didn't go for whatever reason, even though it seems like the kind of thing I would want to watch.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, then we go from a movie that you picked that seemed like one of my picks to a pick for me that seems like one of yours.
Perfect. I like the idea.
All right. So that'll be Monkey Bone next week. I assume it's probably easy to stream.
I think so. Like they just put out like a Blu-ray or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's on YouTube for $4.
Let me see. It's free on Hoopla, and then rentable on everywhere else: YouTube, Google Play, Apple Prime Video.
What the hell is Hoopla?
It's like a thing.
Okay,
like a normal kind of a thing where you can watch movies. I've never used it personally.
Looks like there's an illegal upload on YouTube for free too.
Cool. I also like that. Oh, Hoopla's like you can get. It's like a library system sort of a thing, like your Canopy.
So it's like Canopy. Okay, yeah. Maybe it'll be on Canopy then. Could be. Either way, I'll watch it. You'll watch it, and we'll chat about it next week.
All right. I like the sound of that. In the meantime, you can go to the Discord and vote in all of the polls. If you've ever thought to yourself, I wish I had a say in how the quality of each of the 3 junk food dinner movies of the week are perceived, you can now do that. We're going to keep track. There's going to be a prize at the end.
Yeah, it will take over 1,200 days But I'm going to do this every day. And when I'm done, I'm going to compile the results.
Okay. So yeah, we'll have to figure out what kind of prize there is. We'll have to also figure out the math to even it out so that you and Mark aren't handicapped.
Yeah.
By not being on as many episodes.
I think we also have to figure out what the prize is for me for committing to do this for 1,200 days.
That's also true. Yeah, so that's fun. Go in there and vote.
Also, join the music league that one of our listeners has started. There's a link to that in the Discord.
Yeah, you can do that. This is the first music league in a few months, so
yeah.
I'll probably get in there.
I mean, it's not the same thing as one of the official JFD, fully sanctioned and licensed music leagues, but I like these fan efforts as well.
Yeah, of course. Find us on Facebook. That's where you get up-to-date news on when the episode is out, stuff like that, except for the times that I forget to post it on Facebook. I don't like Facebook. But join us, facebook.com/junkfooddinner. You can also go there and hit the call now button to leave a voicemail, which would be very nice of you. You can also do that by calling 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865 on your cell phone or on your landline if you got one of those. Either way works. Find us on Patreon, patreon.com/junkfooddinner. If you like what we've been doing all these years and you want to donate a couple of dollars, that would be very nice of you. You can do it there. There are literally hundreds of bonus episodes that you probably have not heard that you can get your little hands on over there. I think that's everything. Go to the YouTube channel too. youtube.com/junkfooddinner. It's probably the URL.
Yeah.
Sean posts a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Lots of stuff and lots of exciting updates coming very soon. So look forward to that.
Okay. But I think that's everything. So until next time, this is Parker for Sean saying thanks for having fun.